Happy birthday, Stuart.
Happy birthday, buddy of mine.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Mr. Brown.
Stuart.
Everybody stop that, please. You're making
Happy
me sick.
birthday to you.
Thank you. As the oldest guy playing the game, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you really are.
Thanks.
Hello again. Welcome back for another episode of Old Guys Playing Games. So we had a couple of things come up. I got an email from Ubisoft to be a part of their beta test for a new game called xDefiant. I am not special. I'll tell you that right now. I sign up for these things quite a bit, but I just happened to get a newsletter from Ubisoft. And so I signed up for it. I got in. I was playing it late last week. It's pretty good. It's getting a lot of good reviews. I will say, as far as graphically and some of the motion of the characters, it is. We'll talk about it next time because I think a couple of us are going to get in, and you'll see that it's inferior to Call of Duty because it's not polished, it's not finished. It's also geared toward the fast-paced gaming, which we are not. Well, so this may or may not be something that we move forward with.
So what is the, Ken, you just jumped right into xDefiant like we all know. Like you're the only one that's played it. What is the game?
It's a first-person shooter. It's multiplayer. So it does has a lot of the same game types and modes that we have with most multiplayer games like Capture the Flag, Domination. They call it something different, I'm sure. But they also have one called Escort, I think, which is they have one of those robot dogs. Well, Stuart, what's the name of the company that does those?
Boston
Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics. Thank you. That robot dog has a package on it, and you have to escort that. And then it's one of those like tug of war type things where if you're next to it, guarding it, it'll move forward. But if they're on it, protecting it, it'll move back onto us. So it's a little back and forth. It's pretty interesting.
They used to have a game
something like that.
Is it futuristic?
Yes. Yeah, with the trucks, right? Yeah
correct.
Yeah. It is futuristic. It seems very futuristic. The games, though, or the guns don't seem to be. They're not laser weapons. They are standard weapons that we're used to. But the look of the characters, the look of the landscape does seem a bit futuristic. But it'll be interesting to try. I want us to get back into trying some of these beta games or trying some new games. We can kind of talk about them, complain about them. But as we are all adults and employed, it makes it hard for us to pull ourselves away from Call of Duty, which is our escape, to jump into something different for a little bit. But we've had some successes. I think we all still like Hot Wheels.
I do.
Although we haven't played it in a little bit.
I volunteered to play, but we didn't play the other day.
So can I
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that game. I think we should go back every once in a while. But I had the question, because I'd never done this. You do this a lot. But so I finally got accepted in to the beta test. And I got a code. And I was like, Ken, what do I do now? And because I'd never done that. So it sounds like, Josh, you've done it before? You put a code in to get it?
Yeah, I mean, that should be pretty standard. My problem was I didn't read the text properly. That's my problem.
That's always the case.
I thought the link he was sending was the actual link, but no, you have to
was
register on the site. Then
which was predicted by Ken.
Yep.
Like he was Nostradamus.
I know my friends
all right,
well.
Look, you know.
Oh, gosh.
I know Jason only reads the headline. Stuart doesn't read anything because he always assumes it's against his philosophies.
Who's farthest along of the three of your pals?
Oh, that's
For
true,
the headline
Jason.
reader.
You are.
All I need to do is one more step, and I'm in. I just put the code in, and I'm playing the game.
That's right. Yeah, it gives you
for the 10 minutes you're going to play
redemption code, and you type it in. Yeah, for the
That's true.
You think it's 10? That much?
Hey Ken, I have a question.
yeah, man.
I got a lovely birthday text from our friend, Mr. Funky Paul, and he a veg freak, as you recall, and he was telling me that they've been playing Battlefield 2042 and enjoying it. Thoughts?
Really,
Ooh, I
it
could
sounds
be
like a
tempted.
challenge.
I could be tempted into that, and that does sound. Can we play them in that game?
Well, we should play with ourselves
Maybe.
first.
What's
What?
Josh?
Cold open.
What was the Josh? What was the?
There we go.
Happy
Such a
birthday, Stewie.
It's all by myself.
Thank God we're so
On my
mature.
birthday.
Now we know what he's doing in the hotel. Josh, we played this in the past. Do you happen to remember why we stopped playing it? What was it about it that we?
It was too. I thought, if I remember correctly, it's too clunky. It's just not as. I mean, maybe it's because we're not used to it. But I remember being clunky. I enjoyed the campaigns on Battlefield. I just never got into the multiplayers on Battlefield, and we tried it, and it's just not as good as our old faithful.
Does our buddy Veg Freak, does he think it's on par or better than Call of Duty?
That's a good question. I mean, there's so many. Let me see. What did he say? He said, that's all he said. He's basically that these.
I think.
I know it was more complicated because you not only had to choose the type of character because the character would come with a class of weapons, but also there are some other things like there was a grappling hook that came with every character that gave you the ability to. Well, keep in mind this 2042 is future.
Yeah, which we don't.
2042.
Like. Yeah, he said we've been playing it quite a bit.
Is it the royal we?
It is the royal we. He said seriously impressive game. So much depth to the gameplay. Free on Game Pass. That's what he said.
I might come back and
try it again. I say we try it again.
I'll try it again for sure. It just sounds a lot like Halo for us, right?
Yeah, which we did not enjoy. Well, is that the royal we again?
Maybe. Yeah. All right. We'll give it a shot. I say we give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm down.
Before we move on, there was another one I got today. An invite from Portkey Games that does the Harry Potter stuff. This one's called.
He said Portkey.
What was this?
Portkey.
Yeah. What was this? What was the studio name again?
Portkey.
Porkies.
Portkey.
Oh, Portkey.
Portkey Games.
Just wanted to clarify that.
They're the same company that did the recent Harry Potter strategy role-playing game. I don't know what you would classify it. This one's called Quidditch Champions. It seems like it's going to be a sports game based on anyone? Quidditch. Good, Josh. Good job.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
So I suspect that this is going to be an action-packed sports game, and I've signed up to be a part of the playtesting. So we'll see. I sent it to you guys. See if you can sign up as well and see what you like.
What's
so
the
I
platform?
just click on that link, right?
When you, I think it's on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PlayStation, and I think that's it. I'll have to click the link to find out, but it looks pretty good. But looks can be deceiving. We've all seen those trailers for games that are made to be a trailer, not showing gameplay.
Not actual gameplay shown.
Right. So we'll talk about that next time. Hopefully I'll be able to get into it and give you a review, and hopefully we'll have more of us talking about it. So Josh, you had something to say about you and Jason were playing FIFA recently.
Yeah.
And I think you had something to say about it.
I used to play FIFA all the time in my youth, and it's just a great game, and it hasn't changed much except for the graphics are like ridiculously better now, obviously. And Jason and I were playing a bunch. It's just a fun game. Like, that's all there is to it. It has a little bit of a button masher, but if you're a more skilled player like some of
Myself.
us, it's not as much of a button masher. But yeah, the graphics to me, it's the like if you're talking about sports simulations, like overall like sports simulation, I think it's the best one out there, inclusive of crowd noise and the stadiums and the gameplay. Like to me, it's the best one. And I'm beating Jason cumulatively, like 9-0 in goals. So anyway,
he's definitely been beating me. I just have gotten back into it, but I love that game. I can play it by myself for a long time. I can play it with other people for a long time. It's just, and you can go down the path of the simulation where you're going to build a team and a career and all these things. You can go down the path of just like jumping into friendlies and online friendlies and play with your friends on the same squad or against each other. It's just a really good game that it feels like when you continue to play it, you actually can feel yourself getting better at the technique more so than other games, which sounds weird. So I've been really enjoying it. I wished that we could find a sports game, the four of us, that we could all be on the same side and play together. But we haven't, in all the years we play together, we always come back to the shooting games, or the first person shooters, which is a blast. But it would be cool to find a sports game that we could all.
FIFA could be it, I think.
Well, Stu doesn't love the.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll try it, but I don't. It doesn't.
We also.
Wait,
sorry.
We tried baseball.
Were we able to get? Do they have a 4-player mode on the same
There
team?
is. You can. There's a screen with 4 controllers. There has to be a way to do it. We just have to figure it out.
It's not 2v2. It's 4v.
I don't. I feel like we've done this before. Like the 3 of us were on a side once. I don't remember in what mode, but we were. I think it's possible.
It's possible. We need Ken to research it.
I'll research it. I'll take that.
We did try the show, right?
We did try MLB The Show baseball, yeah.
Because that's Stewie's sport. It's cool.
Was hard.
It's
hard.
really hard.
Yeah,
but it's fun. Like it could be really cool.
No, it's a good game
because we're terrible at it.
But that's a great game where it was an exclusive for so long on Sony that it really was frustrating the MLB players because MLB had an exclusive license with the show, and it wasn't until a couple years ago that it finally came. I think 2 years ago that it finally came to Xbox. It's been huge. I mean, I know my son plays it every day, but he does the season stuff, which we don't do.
Back to FIFA. Something they need to get. Sorry, I forgot to.
That was a non sequitur. If I ever
because we went to MLB as a developer. My background as a developer, FIFA is a huge resource hog. Like that's the only thing. If you go out of FIFA into the main Xbox menu, it drags the entire OS.
Yeah, as it runs in the background.
Yeah, it's pretty lame for a game that's that popular. But
is it? Have you noticed? Well, you only play that one because you haven't played Madden in a while or NHL. Is it the same thing with the other EA games?
I don't know. I mean, we can check. Not for MLB The Show.
Because the new NHL 23, I think, just hit.
True.
NHL 23 is.
Yeah,
or the show is.
MLB, the MLB is not, but FIFA is EA. Now, FIFA, I think, was not necessarily developed in the States. I think that was in Europe.
I think it's Canada. I think
is
it's
it Canada?
Canada, yeah.
Okay.
Vancouver.
Interesting. Yeah, well, we got to give that a shot. The cool thing about the MLB The Show, when you had 3 players, and I think you can only have maximum 3, you had one that was pitcher, one that was the infield, and one that was the outfield, which I thought was very, very cool. What I did find confusing was trying to figure out which one I was. And that made it really, really difficult to try to understand which one I'm controlling. Then, since we just jumped in and not did any kind of training, didn't learn how to play the game at all, trying to figure out how to throw it to the bases, that was impossible for me. I had no idea how to do that. So I just kind of did, trial and error trying to find how to do it. But I do want to play that more. I think it's fun. I want to get better at batting, and I never got a chance to pitch. So, I want to get
pitching is way easier than batting. I don't think we have gotten a hit yet. I think we've hardly made contact. Did you get
Yeah,
it?
I don't think so. No,
Oh,
I don't think so.
Playing by myself, I've hit, but it's when you're playing against real pitchers, it's a much different story than the AI pitchers.
I think we need to do the tutorials. We need to learn how to play before we jump in. So I think we should all, before the next podcast, try to do a couple sessions where we learn how to pitch and throw as basics, so that we all have the same stupid level. So and then we can play. I think it'd be fun.
I gotta figure out a way to at least record our audio when we try to play a game for the first time, because that was absolutely hilarious with the three of us trying to play. It was crazy.
Jason, you have to stop that. It's driving me crazy.
You don't have to look at it. You can look at the other. You look at the beach. You're in South Beach.
I just want that band to snap. That's all I want to happen.
This thing is not snapping.
Keep trying.
All right, now we're gonna go to our business correspondent, and I believe, Jason, there is some news about Sega.
Yes, the latest news is that Sega is buying Rovio, the maker of Angry Birds, for $700 million. And we all say, who gives it? Whatever. So we were talking in the pre-show, like, what's the last Sega game we've all played? And then where is Sega still cranking out games? And why are they buying a mobile game?
Where are they getting the money?
Arguably one of the best mobile games of all time, but
where'd they get $700 million?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is Sega selling? I can remember all the old Sega games back when I had a Dreamcast. But what are they making now?
Oh, movies. Movies.
So they're just still making Sonic stuff. They are making the movies. They're also the developer of some of the Football Manager.
Go to Sega.com right now. Go to Sega.com in a browser.
I'm on a very low bandwidth. I can't go anywhere.
This is interesting. I want to see.
Sega.com.
We'll be back soon.
We're currently making improvements to our website. Please follow the links below to access careers and privacy.
So they don't even have a website?
No.
I'm sure that's just planned.
Do they have that cool under construction thing we used to have when we first built websites?
Yeah.
Kids, we used to build websites ourselves.
So they did make a game in 2023, or this year. We'll be making a game, releasing Samba de Amigo, which I think is one of those like Sonic, platform games. But I agree with you. I think they're losing or have lost. Now it's just a license. Some of the like what were some of the great games that they made in the past?
Sonic,
Banjo, Sonic,
Crash Bandicoot.
Right. So, but they also licensed their stuff to like ESPN and stuff like that.
Don't they have a Sega World? Isn't there a theme park somewhere?
Probably. Japan's got most everything like that over there.
But who plays Angry Birds anymore?
Right. Who plays Angry Birds? What else has Rovio done? What else has Rovio done? There's obviously a plan, but what could they possibly be doing?
Yeah.
Is Sega going to start making mobile apps now and trying to do that? Or I don't understand.
This reminds me of Michael Jackson buying a monkey. This may be too much. You have too much money.
You have too much.
So do you realize Sega was started in 1960? That's crazy.
So listen to this stat. I don't know if it's true or not. Angry Birds experienced over 2 billion downloads. This is as of last year. 263 million monthly users. It was downloaded on 50% of new mobile devices.
Oh, God. It's the end of time.
What?
That's a lot.
Seems like a lot.
Okay, well, there's four of us. Does anybody here have Angry Birds on their mobile device?
No, but I did. I
did too.
I played it.
2009. I mean, seriously, when I got my first iPad, I had Angry Birds. That was the big deal, right? That and that driving game where you could turn the iPad like a steering wheel.
I'm still totally blown away that Sega.com is not
right.
All this news about this all hit the press today, big time. So what do people do? They go to, I wonder what Sega's doing. Sega.com. Oh, Sega's how did that happen?
Marketing. Yeah. Anyway. So maybe
there's
something big coming. Maybe there's an
Update on
Crash Bandicoot.
Sega is still doing stuff. They've got a PlayStation VR game this year. There are a lot of these titles, I believe, are catered to the Japanese market, because a lot of the titles I don't recognize, but there are some like Alex Kidd. I've heard that. Wonder Boy. I've heard that. Bayonetta. I've heard that. House of the Dead. I've heard of these. Streets of Rage. I'm just surprised that they are still going. I mean, these were 2020, 2021 games, but
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. Real quick, that stat looks like it was from 2014. Sorry,
that
for
sounds
the
right.
old,
that sounds right.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Maybe. I mean, they could have money from the franchising and other stuff where they can. Maybe they're going to rebrand and come out with something. Who knows?
Well, their movies have done well, so they're probably making money from that.
Yeah, probably. We'll see.
They're making a third one. So
stay tuned, fan
listener. I don't want to get into Call of Duty just yet because we're going to end on that typically, but I do have one other topic that I wanted to talk about. NFL Sunday Ticket traditionally had been something that was strictly for DirecTV. The license was, or the exclusivity deal was very, very long. Finally expired, I think last year or a year before. And now you can purchase it as a package on YouTube TV. And I think it's a great thing. I think it's long overdue. There was a year where you could actually buy directly from NFL to be able to watch any team you wanted, and you would be able to get that team only. Then the next year they did away with that, and they said, okay, now you have to get the entire season, all the teams, and it's obviously more expensive. I don't think they're doing any of that anymore, but they do have the Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV, which I think is a great thing. I don't think I'm going to purchase it. If they had the ability to single out certain teams, I probably would do that. Even if it was like, okay, how about pick 3 teams, or, pick a conference or whatever, that would be cool. I would do that. But there's a lot of teams I don't care about that I don't want to spend the money that they want for it. I think it's like $250, isn't it?
Yeah. For the whole wow. But it's good for someone like you though, that's a Lions fan that's not in the market, right?
Yeah, but I never get to see their games until they've been uploaded to YouTube, oddly enough. So,
but as in like in Tampa, like I'm not going to spend $250. I just want to see the Bucks and be done with it. And
no, but also there's
whatever.
I guess there's no blackouts in the NFL anymore, and even if there were, so like the thing that makes it interesting is, unlike baseball. True. Like Detroit, if they don't sell out, I'm not saying they won't can, but if they don't sell out, they don't black out the games locally like they used to.
They don't?
Nope. They've done blackouts in football for years.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whereas baseball,
obviously, I didn't know because I haven't been in Detroit in years.
Exactly. But it is so. It is. I agree with you. It's like I think you heard my YouTube rant last time. I think the challenge is they're spending a ton of money to keep on the platform, but they're losing other stuff on the platform. Really, if I look at my son and his friends, all he really needs and all he really wants is Red Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're a fantasy person, Red Zone is the best thing to have.
Exactly.
So the baseline Sunday Ticket package will cost $350 for YouTube TV subscribers and $449 for non-subscribers.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
like Google can have free lunch. It
became the owner. They became the owner in December, paying roughly $2 billion for the rights and taking over DirecTV's longtime contract. Right? I know.
What was it? So it was just part of the DirecTV package prior, and you
had to pay extra. You had to pay extra like this. But I don't know how much. I don't remember how much it was though.
But was it a lump sum or just like $10 more a month? Or
we found out last time.
No, it was a big sum like this.
I know you bought it. How much did you pay for it?
For a DirecTV stream?
No, for the NFL ticket, which I'm sure you bought on top of your DirecTV.
Oh, I never bought. No,
I know.
I don't have that.
But I think it was a couple. I want to say it was like $250 or something. Like what Ken's original number was.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems to me like that's I mean, there's probably going to be people that pay it, but the question is that are we getting to the point where, you know, they're pricing people out of the market, especially football fans?
Well, not only that is NFL as big a draw as it had been.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
You think?
They print money. Yeah, that's. I have to believe if they're charging that, somebody's going to pay it. Like I said, if it's people outside of the market want to see their team, they're going to fork it over.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see what the numbers look like next year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting because one of the like MLB at bats very successful because a lot of people buy their baseball team, and we've always had it. And the guy, it was interesting. The guy that ran MLB, which is by the way the most successful spin-off venture in sports, like they started that the owners didn't want to do it. They all had to put $1 million in. It was the streaming service for HBO. It was so good, right? Anyway, they ended up getting like billions. They sold half of it to Disney for a stupid amount of money or something like that. But the guy that started all that is now the commissioner of the Big Ten, so Michigan, and so like he went from being a media guy to be now being run in a Big Ten, and they're actually saying the fact that he's going to be doing it as a big show, that there's going to be a big pivot for the Big Ten when it comes to media rights and streaming and those kind of things, which could be really interesting. So maybe, Ken, this is the future, and maybe this is what disconnected might eventually look like, that we can actually just pay for what we want, which may be okay.
I mean, the Redskins are about to be sold for like, what was it, $5 billion or $7 billion? Like
$6 billion.
The NFL is $6 billion, and they are still as popular as ever. Well, it's Washington, so
it's the Washington
the football, whatever they are, the Commanders.
Yes. Right.
I would like to start a football team, just call them NPCs.
Yeah.
Non-playable characters. I think it'd be cool.
That would be funny. It would have to go on that XFL league, though.
It would be awesome with little blank helmets and little blank jerseys. It would be sort of.
Has anybody watched the XFL?
No.
Not this incarnation.
No, but I will. I guess.
I mean, it's on now, I think. Haven't heard much about it. So I don't know if it's
I was at a friend of mine, Ken Sisek, at the UCF games. Was with him on Saturday, and he's an arena season ticket holder, and he loves going to arena football. But it doesn't.
Yeah, arena football is awesome.
Yeah, but I don't think it still sells very well, though.
Probably not.
We don't have a team anymore.
I think they're trying to be more like a legit football league and not gimmicky.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, it's not going to compete with the NFL. Like, we know that.
When was the old XFL?
They've had two goes at it before this.
There was Vince McMahon was the second one, right? Or was that the first one?
Yes, he was the second one. And I think The Rock owns one of these teams.
He's part of this one.
Yes.
He's part of this one.
Yes.
Interesting.
Anyway,
maybe watch a game.
It doesn't sound like any of us are watching it. So.
Nope.
But are we going to
talk about HBOmax is now becoming Max. Yay.
With the extra X,
what are they doing there?
HBOmax.
What are they doing?
Can we be honest? Warner Brothers is dropped. He needs to go home.
What is it? Wait, explain what's happening.
HBOmax has changed their name to Max. Yep.
And it used to be HBO. It used to be HBO Go, HBO Now, DC Universe, and something else. Then it became HBO Max. Now it's going to be Max. Soon it's going to be Meh.
It's going to be gone.
Yeah.
It's
going to be HBO Go. Gone. Get out of here.
404.
This is Succession's last season, and Barry's last season. So
there's a lot of that going on.
I think
there's a lot of that going on. Last seasons of a lot of those HBO shows. It might be the writing on the wall, right?
Their only hope right now.
Last of Us.
House of Dragon.
Last of Us just started.
Oh, did it?
And
is that HBO?
That is HBO.
Yes.
House of the Dragon is big.
Perry Mason just started. This is not a good argument. There's all kinds of brand new series.
Perry Mason's been out for 2 seasons, though.
No,
The
but
TV,
I'm saying
the
it's
TV
not the
man
end.
has spoken. The
There's
TV
a
Well,
man
I'm
has
not
spoken.
interested
Mason
in
series?
football, but yeah, it's really good. But my point is, it's not all end of series. There are a bunch of brand new series, first season, second season, that are doing really well. So I don't think it's a HBO is going to stop. They're some of the best TV series on streaming networks. Period. There's no way they're getting out of this market.
I can't imagine they would. However, there are other companies that are picking up those properties. I mean, there's no reason why HBO wouldn't sell their shows to another company. If it were me and the streaming part is not getting me any money, I would start selling my licenses to somebody else.
You got to look at the parent companies, right? You're right, Jason. They make a lot of good series, but the AT&T Warner thing was a disaster, and Warner Brothers hemorrhaging money. So maybe they're just going to try to pare down to some of the series that are actually, they're actually looking. I think they haven't looked at the numbers for a while. I think they tried to make as much content as they could. And if they continue to make good content like House of Dragons, sounds like Perry Mason, Last of Us, and others, I think that would be good because HBO used to put out a small number of really good stuff, and then it got a little drunk.
Yeah, they're still owned by Warner Brothers Discovery now, but
yeah, Discovery's been cranking down.
All right, Jason, you wanted to talk about, what was it, Gen AI?
Yeah, I'm sure Stu heard this on some of the Lex podcasts recently. Lots of focus on AI. And there was one little segment, Stu, I don't know if you caught it, where they started to go down a path of what video games will be like in the future because of where this is all headed. And I really got me thinking. It was like, I listen to these podcasts and I'm getting ready in the morning. And I just started to go down in my own mind, like this rabbit hole of holy moly, like the games that we play today, like especially the campaigns, you all know in the quote unquote open world sort of thing, Call of Duty campaign is very structured. You're going down a very single path. You don't have a bunch of options at your fingertips. But on games like the Halo campaign, which was full open world, you can go any direction, and it feels like an almost endless array of options, although it's very limited. I think the future now means that a game has truly endless options and is very personalized to the way you play. So the thing that they were talking about was, when you go interact with a new character in a game, it's assuming that there's only sort of one player that's playing that game, and there's only a few different things you do. But now imagine a world where as you encounter different characters, those characters live in a world where they can start to share what and how you play. And so you come upon a character in a new part of the world and they're like, hey, we've seen this Josh guy before. And this is the way, Josh is and acts and what he'll do. And so now you've got this truly, I don't want to say sentient, but you've got this environment and world in a game that is interacting with you as a very specialized particular person, and it gets smarter and smarter with respect to how you are in play. And I was like, holy moly, this like, how do game studios even keep up with how they design a game, knowing that there's an endless array of the way the game can play out? It's
that's the danger.
It's like, it hurts my head.
Yeah, I mean that's West. You just basically described Westworld, right? So, which is interesting.
Well, that's
right?
they were talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, where the games eventually become. I mean, the reality is, I know you listen to the same podcast. I was listening to the last Lex Freeman podcast where he's like, two things we should never do with AI: one, teach it to code, and B, connect it to the internet. Dope, we've done both. The reality is, if those games can start coding themselves and reimagining experiences instead of, and I know I think we're going to talk season 3 in a minute, but in other words, would seasons be much more tailored to how we play? Like, would we get an old guys playing games season 3 release that is much more,
right.
Hey, we want quad games, dudes. We want gun game. We want game, whatever the one we play, not the gun game. We want the gun, the whole thing. Like, will it start giving us what we want?
For the way we play.
For the way we play, and I think
with the guns we choose and the mods we choose, like, yeah, it's crazy.
It could be pretty cool, and and if we say we don't want to play with PC guys because they cheat, and and we don't want to play with, or we want to use AI to only play with people in a certain skill level, 50% higher and 20% lower or something. We have no clue what's coming, but I think it's going to be really, to your point, Jason. I think we'll look back as one of those seminal moments. We look back and go, what, how do we live without an iPhone, right?
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Yes.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
We may be going there, but that's not in the video games, I hope.
I don't know. I don't mind if AI is able to determine who I play with or against based on my stats or gameplay. But I don't think it's a good idea to pigeonhole people into certain gameplay modes without giving them the diversity and option to find other ways to play.
Agreed.
Because I don't think, because if that were the case, think about it. If that was the case, we would have never found gun games or party games.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Because there's that one party game that we all hate. So we never played any of the party games. So it's just, they got obviously they got to do it right.
Yeah,
exactly. They got to do it right. And I just worry that they're, if you put too much of that AI in there, you start to pigeonhole people into certain things, especially in this climate.
Hopefully people vote with their wallets, right? Or their playtime, right? That's so hopefully, Ken, that if they try something, they can quickly untry it. And if they try something people like, I think that's a good point, in that in the end, the viewable playing time is what they need, right? They need people playing these games. So they've got to give them what they want. So I am curious, but I do think it's going to be something not just for catching cheaters, which we talked about last time. I think enhancing gameplay and giving us more fun and being able to tweak stuff that we want tweaked, it could be interesting. We'll have to wait and see. But I think it's we're literally on the new dawn of all this stuff.
Yeah, so as a warning, I recommend you guys go out there and look up Chaos GPT.
Oh,
Chaos GPT. Somebody has built that AI and gave it the instructions on how to cure the world's problems, and it came up with, destroy humanity.
Yeah,
and it tried. It tried to talk to other AI, tried to convince them to. They asked the question, what is the easiest way, quickest way to destroy humans? Nuclear weapons. Okay, how do I get nuclear weapons? Well, you need to get access to this. So this was all. It was doing it itself. Yeah. It was asking these questions, getting answers to those questions, and then trying to communicate to other AI. I'm not joking. I wish I was.
No, I just googled it.
I encourage you to read the whole thing because it is really scary.
We should do a whole thing on AI. The one thing I'll say is, like I was talking about the Lex Friedman podcast, the last one with Max Tegmark, who was the guy that coined he's an MIT guy, but coined the letter that the 1,600 different really smart people signed around pausing. It was really interesting because I don't know about you, Jason, but it was nice. Lex had Sam Altman, who runs OpenAI, and he was very blue sky. Everything's going to be great. Then he had Eliezer Yudkowsky, who basically said we're all going to be killed. And this guy was sort of in between and said, we need to come up with a plan because we need to know what it's doing. It's like you don't leave the kids in the bedroom by themselves.
Well, the constant that I've listened to, not all, I've heard bits and pieces of those. They all say, we are way past where I thought we would be at this point.
Yes.
Like, we're moving too fast.
They're the smart guys.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, please.
Yeah. Would you like to play? Would you like to play a game?
Yeah, right. That too. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This is why I love all of those post-apocalyptic movies and stories, because it's usually something like this, that somebody develops something and it ended up destroying the world or something, or resources or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's us trying to take things back.
Well,
but
guess what was just on the hotel room I was watching earlier when I came up? It was Jurassic Park. And there's the line. I'll find it, but there was a line where Jeff Goldblum, by the way, in that movie is spectacular.
Yep.
But as he's talking about this getting out of hand and how that's happened in history, it was quite good. And Jason, I think this is a great point to bring up because I think game development will be really interesting. We're already seeing it on cheaters, which I think is a great way to start. But I'm really curious to see, using things like Mid-Journey and other stuff and creating games. The question is, can we create our own games? How hard will it be for us to create a game going forward, guys? Right? I don't know. It's going to be sort of cool. And I think it's a space that stay tuned to old guys playing games. We'll be talking about more.
All right, let's get to our topic that we always like to talk about. Let's talk about Call of Duty. We got Season 3 going. Jason, snap. Hey, over here. There you go. Yep. The topic we're talking about now you're interested in.
What's the best line? The best line in that movie? Son, I'd piss on spark plug if I thought it would help.
That's right.
Let's talk about Call of Duty Season 3. Who wants to start?
I love it. We're having a blast with it. It's not magical. There's some new cool maps.
Yeah.
We love DMZ. Like, we've gotten back into DMZ. The multiplayer's fun. I like the new token thing. It is the token thing to me, and I think you guys were saying the other night, they used to have this in some other season, but it's been really cool. I'm obsessed with the tokens, both in Warzone and in multiplayer. You can get up to 12 in multiplayer, and then it stops, I think. Once you get 12, then it stops. And then in Warzone, there are the token banks, or trophies. I should say trophies, not token. They look like little floating trophy or tokens. But that has added another level. It also distracts me enough to piss off Ken because I just go chasing those things while I should be staying tight with the squad. But I'm loving the season. I think it's fun. I'm looking forward to playing tonight.
Yeah, they got what was it? 2 new maps, right?
No, there's actually there's
a
the gunfight has small maps that are all seem to be all new.
Oh, I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think the main ones. I think there's 2.
Yeah, you did, Ken. Remember the one we were like the sprinklers are on in one game and we're running around? We played together. You look confused.
Sprinklers.
We played gun game together, 2-on-2. You remember there was it's like a little museum map.
I didn't know. I haven't played any 2v2. It wasn't me. I haven't played any of the gunfight games yet.
All right. Maybe it wasn't you.
It says 8 new maps. What the heck?
Josh, you okay?
Black Gold, the Lighthouse one. There's nothing.
They're considering Himmelmat Expo. That one. That's a new map. How do I explain that one? It's a winter type map, is it not?
Yeah. You can jump in the pool.
Voltaire's Museum is back.
Yeah.
Palaeos Lighthouse.
Yaman-2.
It's interesting.
Albaron Hatchery. I haven't seen that.
Yaman-2. Jason's favorite map of all time.
Yaman-2. Was that Cold War? That's Cold War, right?
That's Vanguard. Yeah.
That's
right.
No, it's not. It's Cold War.
Oh, you're right, Trey. I'm sorry. You're right. I like it. I'm with Jason. I think it's fun. I think it's funny to see all the creators that I watch you are really not liking it. And I think it has nothing to do with the gameplay, though. I think they complain about that stuff. I think there's something about how the gameplay works and how they do controls that they can't stream stuff as well or something. So they're all pretty frustrated with the game type. Also, they don't, but I think it's great for us. I think it's a fun mix in season 3. And I like the tokens. I think they're cool. We won a ranked play the other day. I thought that was cool. The 4 of us, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I missed that one.
I like 4-player games. I just don't like there's so many 3-player stuff still. It just drives me crazy. I want 4-player DMZ. The Plunder is supposed to be coming back soon.
Plunder.
Yeah, I heard that too, but it's not coming this season.
No, because DMZ is like Plunder and Battle Royale have a baby, right?
Right.
Here's the maps. Oh, you go ahead, Ken.
I was going to list them too. Go ahaid.
Okay.
So the multiplayer maps are Palaeos Lighthouse 6v6, Black Gold 6v6, Satik cave complex battle map. That's like the ground war big map. There's the Rohan oil fields is a battle map. Alberon Hatchery is coming in season, so about midway we'll get that new map. We don't have that one yet. Maybe, yeah. Then for gunfight, they've got Black Site, Exhibit, Shipment, and Alley. They've added Cranked to the game mode list. They've also got Infected will be coming as well. They've added a co-op mission, which is kind of cool. And they also have Raid Episode 3 coming during the season. I haven't played the second one yet, and that's also a 3-player.
We didn't finish the first one.
Because it's the 3-player. It's hard, and it's insanely hard.
The first one was insanely hard, and yes, we did not finish it.
And we didn't even
at the
play
very, very end.
Yeah, we didn't even play the veteran mode either.
No. There's something we're doing wrong.
Yes.
But I definitely want to get into that. I have not finished any of the co-op missions. I want to be able to do that. But again, that's a 2-player for co-op, 3-player for raid, 3-player for DMZ. It's we rant about this all the time. It is so frustrating. Oh, I'm sorry. Plunder is coming. Plunder is coming in season. So about mid-season, Plunder is coming. Warzone Ranked is coming as well.
Oh boy.
So that's kind of cool.
That'll be neat because we'll see. It's felt like the 4 of us have gotten better at Warzone, but Ranked would help us validate that, right? Perhaps.
Yes.
Although when we did Resurgence last night or the night, whenever it was, we got our butts kicked.
No, it was the new one. It was Mega.
Mega.
150.
There's a lot of people on those maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our butts kicked.
Well, I think on those,
As we landed.
It's here with the Mega, we need a different strategy, right?
Yeah. I definitely want to know more about the active duty slots and the barter that they have available in the buy station. But I need to look those up.
We need to do a little more research, I think, because I think there's stuff we can figure out. I mean, like what I liked about us, Ken, on the I guess Jason, you figured this out when we were playing Battle Royale. Anyway, the one where we figured out how to get. What the hell is going on? Where we figured out how to get. When we figured out how to like start using the police stations to arm up and stuff, right? We came up with a strategy that really worked for us.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is.
By the way, don't steal our strategy.
Yeah. Shh.
When
we went to the fire stations.
Yes.
Yes. We followed the river.
Where do we go? I forget. Where did we go?
We never know.
Where's the mark? Where's the mark now?
Where's the
right
mark?
side of the plane, Josh. All right.
I just follow you guys.
Jason, good news.
I don't have anything else. We've been jibba-jabbing for a while now. How much time we got? We've been down here for a while. So I say we give it a thumbs up, put it in the can. So we'll say goodbye. This is Old Guys Playing Games. I'm Ken.
Stu.
Jason.
I'm Josh.
Thanks for
Old
listening.
Guys Playing Games.
Bye.
Bye.
Are those OGs or reprints, Josh?